Alright everyone, welcome back to Master of Command. This is Prophet of the Constitution. Last time we left off in this field here. We did just defeat an encampment army. We have defeated all the encampment armies. We have 2 more towns to burn. I think that's all we have left to burn here in Act 3, and we will burn this entire countryside. 2 more armies left remaining to face us as well. Several events and things we might be able to pick up, and then of course both headquarters. So yeah, let's get to it. Let's head down here and head towards Weylau or Weylau. Alright, we are going to just chase the army for now. Well, I'll stop in here real quick, make sure we buy their food. We can buy all this stuff. We have boatloads of money. It's hilarious and bad how much money we have, probably. It's fantastic. Ooh, 106. Let's see. 106. 34. Alright, that works. Okay. Ooh. Another marksman? That's funny. I quite like that, actually. $56, eh? I don't think we have nothing for 56 we can give you. See town square. Yep, we'll get the excellent Bibles again, so we can swap them out for anybody that has less. Alright. Quartermaster. We can get the entrenchment tools and the canteens. That's pretty good. Alright, gunsmith. Let's see what we got. It's alright. Okay, foundry. Cool. More guns, the variety we like. Nothing too crazy. Alright, time to equip some things here. What to get rid of, what to get rid of. Get rid of the ammo there. They already have one. Get rid of the ammo. Excellent. All right, who needs sawbones? You know what? That's funny because they can get marksmen just like the other ones. Look at that. They all have marksmen now. That's really funny. They all have excellent Bibles. Nope, they have good. They have good. Okay, so we'll swap that out. Entrenchment tools. That's the next test. Alright, you don't have excellent. You could use good. Alright, that works out well. Canteens. A little bit less. Okay, well, we can do that, though. That's still better, in my opinion. Alright, not too shabby. Okay. Let's see. 40? Okay, well, that's 32. Yeah, that works. Fantastic. Okay. Looks good. And we are ready to be on our way. The other army ran from me, so I'm just going to burn this. Wow. That took nothing. No time at all. The place was already on fire, basically. It had to have been. That's crazy. Okay. Let's head on down here. See what we can get for the convoy. Large escort, convoy returns, fantastic. Didn't really need that, but that's okay. We're going to chase this army down. I want to take them out. Don't run from me. Alright, let's see. 3 cavalry, 1 artillery, lifeguards, 3 veteran musketeers, a bunch of grenadiers, one of which is veteran. Alright. We're going to set up a firing line. We're going to batter them with artillery. And watch as they melt before the indomitable Russian line. Really looking forward to that. And The game has decided to be extra cruel to them, for we have a river, and for they do not. That's a really bad day for them. Really, really bad day. By bad day, I mean that's excruciating. Even. We're gonna send the light troops with the cavalry. That'll be kind of funny. Give them a grenadier escort. Let me make sure I take their bayonets off also before I forget. You basically have to set up columns for the Russians especially. Otherwise they go extremely slow. That's okay. What you lose in maneuverability options, you make up for in just raw, indomitable spirit. Ooh, apparently I left out some of the cavalry. Very interesting. It's alright, they should be able to catch up. Alright, time to move forward. This is going to be pretty funny, I think. And the guns are in position, so let's set them up, why don't we? Alright, that doesn't look too bad. Oh, except it's supposed to be you that's doing this here. And you are supposed to be up here. Yes, okay. Gonna be a little bit of overlap with our lines here, nothing too crazy. It'll be a-okay. And the cavalry made it over there just dandy and fine on their own, which is great. Okay, let's not fire at the horse artillery, shall we? Let's fire at the grenadiers instead, the veteran grenadiers. That sounds excellent. Alright, still taking us a moment to get our positions. That's alright. Grenadiers are going to repulse them early. That should do wonders for us. Alright. Alright, especially as they're stuck in a river. That's not good for them. Alright, fantastic. We can pull our grenadiers back now. They're doing an excellent job. Artillery, let's see, what are you focusing on now? Ooh, those veteran grenadiers are basically melted. I'm okay with that. I'm very okay with that. Keeping an eye out so they don't bum rush or anything. Looks as though their cavalry might decide to try to get an early charge on my infantry before they're done setting up. Yo, grenadiers, I told you to move, guys. That's for your own benefit and health. Highly, highly recommend that you do so. Yeah, they're definitely going in for the kill. And they got a really good volley off, and the grenadiers are going to countercharge them. Those cuirassiers just melted. You want to move, guys? That'd be great. Alright, before they switch their lines and get ready to charge, we're going to charge them in the flank. It's going to be glorious. Alright, now hold on. Hold on, hold on. They're getting ready to countercharge you again. Doing some pretty good damage there. Gonna fire on those grenadiers. Yes. That's not good. Let's do that quickly, quickly, quickly. Fantastic. We stunted their charge. And likewise, we're doing the same thing here. Moving up the infantry. Very good. Their lifeguards took a thrashing. Excellent. Alright. Doing very well across the line. They took some more damage than I would have liked. They did ensure that our guys got to set up, though, properly. Flank charge, move the cavalry up. Well, that's not a flank charge, but they're nearly spent. And the cavalry are finishing the flank. It's good night time. Alright, fantastic. They are rolling over very nicely. It's not going too well for them. And they're going to charge the grenadiers. That's not going to go nice for them either. Wow, this is not going to go well for them. And absolutely annihilated on impact. Oh, I love our Russian grenadiers, man. They are just very, very effective. Very powerful. It's quite brutal, actually. Awesome. We're going to do food just to be sure we don't run out of food. Definitely don't want to run out of that. Especially since we are soon to have no more villages to raid or buy from, either one. Alright. Bayonets. Gold bayonets. Let's see. Alright. Cool deal. One more army and one more town. Here we go. Oh, and look, it's almost... Well, actually, two more towns. Okay. I stand corrected. Did we burn this place? Yes, we did. Since everything's burning in Act 3, sometimes it's more difficult to tell which ones have been burnt and which ones haven't been. We're going after them. They're fleeing. They're not going to get away. Alright, 4 artillery. Wow, 3 lifeguards, veteran musketeers, also 3, and 2 veteran grenadiers. Alright, they have no cavalry to speak of. This is not going to go very well for them. Alright. Okay. Yeah, we can work with this. Cavalry on the right wing. Grenadiers will set up in a moment. They're going to be behind. Alright. We're going to set up right along here. Let's see. Yeah, you're going to go over here. Skirmishers are going to go over here also. In addition to our 3 grenadiers right here. The artillery is going to be back here because they're going to go up on this hill. Alright, cavalry going around the flank as always. As per usual. Move the general behind the artillery for now so he doesn't get popped by their artillery. That would be suboptimal. We want to try to utilize as much of the buildings as we can. Alright, that works. Now for the line units. Alright, that works good. And then we can have a set of grenadiers behind each one. Ain't nothing gonna slip past with our boys behind them. Just ain't gonna happen. Not fun for our enemies, but that's kind of the point, isn't it? Make sure the grenadiers are set up in a position where they can support them should they do some sort of funny business there. Alright, that looks good so far. We're gonna make one little change. because of the position of their army on our right flank. Just a minor little adjustment here to be sure we don't get flanked there on this right hand side. Alright, that still works. That looks great. I'm going to adjust the artillery just a little bit also. Fantastic. Artillery at the ready. Unlimber. And here we go. Let's double check they have anything like Jaeger rifles or anything on any of these guys. Nope, lots of Potsdams, which is not surprising for the Prussians. One of my favorite rifles of the period, honestly. Especially if you're talking in the game. Those grenadiers, those are lifeguards. That might be a problem. What's their melee? Ooh, yeah, we're gonna do something about that. Because that could be a problem. Let's see, they've got 2 infantry units heading for the cavalry. We're gonna split the cavalry up, keep the attention of these infantry here, whilst the other 2 go after their guns. Alright, fantastic. Everyone can target the lifeguards, thank you, that'd be great. They are firing at the cavalry, which is not my favorite thing ever. Ouch. Alright, fantastic. Taking care of their guns. And that about does it for their guns. That's it. Man. Very, very pleased with the performance we get out of our cavalry. They are charging us. That is very bad. We are going to have the guns support our infantry over here. Thankfully, morale is high and they have to cross a river. That's one of the redeeming facts about that situation right there. Definitely gives us a little bit extra strength in having to deal with them. And they are trying to change their line to fit our situation here. Take them out of that and we'll charge. Ooh, hello. Get away, light troops. Ooh, no, no, no. Do not join in that combat, thank you. It's not going well for them because they were totally out of position when that happened. Don't stop, Grenadiers. Let's continue the fight. Alright. They have really good timing on those charges against my light troops for some reason. Unfortunate, but It is what it is. They are firing, but they're getting hit by 2 units at the same time. Alright. And this is nearly it for them. Yep, they've broken. They have 2 units left, one of which my grenadiers are going after. I guess grenadiers are going after both of them, to be honest with you. Fantastic. They're getting plenty of kills there. Alright, they're charging in right there. And that's it. That's the battle. Few casualties of my skirmishers. I wasn't paying enough attention to them. I looked away for like a split second, and there's the charge. It's alright. We got to them in time before they got smashed. Okay, excellent bayonets. That's good. What we need food. Just to be sure. I cannot stress enough how bad it is to run out of food and have everyone desert you. And your units fit 17,000 gold as the Russians. Look at that, pillaging everything. That's absolutely hilarious. I don't know if I can describe to you just how hilarious that is. Let's see, bayonets, they're all good. Guns are good. Okay, so yeah, so we're going to give the next expert bayonet to this guy. You've earned it, pal. Alright. I think that's all she wrote in that department. Alright, let's check it out, see what they got. Okay. Nothing I really need. Okay, I can use that. I take it back. Alright. Let's see. Excellent, excellent. Fantastic, there we go. They don't have cover. We're going to give them cover. What do we get rid of? We're going to get rid of that. Who needs excellent Bibles? Yep, they do. Alright. And that works. That works very well, actually. Alright. Buy everything they have with the money from their fellow villages, rather, and burn it. And it's burnt in about 0.2 seconds. Awesome. That is pretty funny. Okay. Let's go to this encampment and see what's going on here. Training ground, officers or regiments? Let's do regiments. Did we get anything? How are we doing on experience? Doing pretty good. Even our veteran units are going up further, which is awesome. Alright, we have this town, slums, and where'd the last army go? I thought for sure there was one more army that was hiding from us. Perhaps I'm incorrect and I just destroyed them both and didn't realize it. Well, let's go take care of this town, shall we? Staff call... Ooh, chaplains. That's pretty funny. Definitely getting that. What treaties do you have? Yeah, you got the right one. Chaplains, that'd be really funny. I think all of our units are full, though. All of our units have a unit like that. With the exception of the artillery, but, I mean, that one can work for artillery. We'll try that one. Alright, quartermaster, what do you got? Yeah, we'll get those and those just to be sure. Alright, town square. Might need excellent Bibles. Let's see. Carbines. Let's do that. Alright. Foundry's fun to look at, but we already basically have everything we need in that department. Alright, let's go check this out here real quick. Max range 15%. Yeah, you need the range. Let's reload. Who needs the most reload also? You do. Alright. Phenomenal. We got picks for everybody, I think. Yeah, but yours aren't excellent, so we'll fix that. Cool. That's what we needed. Alright. That looks a lot better, to be honest with you. Fantastic. Alright, buy everything out. And burn it. Alright, cool. We got some entrenchment tools that are maxed, maxed out. That could be useful. Got riding boots. Okay, we don't need that. Alright. Fantastic. We can look around a little bit for stuff. See if we find anything over here. Might be interesting. There's an outpost. That's pretty cool. Got a bunch of good stuff there. Ah, yes. Winter is coming. General, winter is a month off and the first snowfall is expected. The army will travel slower, visibility will be limited, and food consumption will increase. Store sufficient provisions and prepare for hardship. Waiting out the season is not an option. We must secure the region before we can go into winter quarters. Alright, fantastic. Sounds good. Very good, very good. Alright, let's head on down here. Ah, yes. Enemy headquarters in pursuit. General, our scouts report the enemy headquarters has mustered its full army and is marching to engage us. Columns move on the main road with advanced guards out. Expect contact within days. We cannot outrun them. We must face them. Sounds good. We are not going to be trying to run away from anybody here. I can assure you of that. Let's check out what we got here. Got slums. They're desperate. We'll sell off lots. That's fantastic. Alright, we'll help them out and help desperate families. Rotten discipline. Reserve officer. Get some light cavalry that we're not going to use at the moment, unfortunately. Alright. See, we do have some pretty good cavalry items, actually, come to think of it, though. That's pretty funny. Alright. Doesn't do us a whole lot of good, but that's okay. There's the headquarters army. There's the slums we can check up there as we get ready to meet with them. And they are flying, man. They are flying. They are pissed. Alright, there we are. Ooh, let's see. Very intense army. Winterfeld Grenadiers. Prussian Veteran Grenadiers. 4 of those. Hold on, 5 of those. 3 Prussian Grenadiers, Grenadier Guards, 2 Life Guards, 3 Freikorps Grenadiers, Freikorps veteran Jaeger, 3 cuirassiers, let's see, horse artillery, and 4 field artillery. That is a pretty solid force right there. That's a ton of grenadiers, I've got to say. They don't have a lot of line troops, but that's a lot of grenadiers. And the danger with that for us is our army is primarily light troops and line troops. We have a really good mix here. Alright, well, it's not too bad. The Freikorps Grenadiers, I'm not sure what it is. They might be a little bit tougher than the Prussian Grenadiers, to be honest with you. And their cuirassiers always seem to be pretty solid, in my opinion. Alright. Alright, guys. Well, I will call it here. I know it's kind of a short one. Not a lot going on. We killed the 2 little armies and finished off the townships. Next episode is likely to be the last one, with which we'll see both headquarters battles. Yeah, this is going to be a fun one. Battle of Lützen. Very much looking forward to that. Alrighty, thank you all for joining me. God bless.